I think I'm live now. I've not been. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Rainbow Youthins Ministry. This is Kiss and Tell. I'm sure you'll be wondering what is Kiss and Tell. What's this Kiss and Tell all about? What is it all about? Is it that we're going to kiss and then we're going to tell somebody about it? Don't worry, we got you covered today. So, Kiss and Tell is the forum or platform. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. Please start inviting all the youth and teenagers that you know. Begin to invite them to the Kiss and Tell. So, they're going to kiss and they're going to tell what they kissed, how the kiss is. Thank you, Amadi Jari. I love that the love emoji. It says that you're looking very young and beautiful. Thank you. Well, for Kiss and Tell today, I choose to be 16 years old. So I'm 16 years old, and that is it. So what is Kiss and Tell? Kiss and Tell is a platform where youth and teenagers get to share their real stories, their real experiences, and their pains, their joys, their victories, the lessons that they learned, and all were not. So today's episode is going to be awesome, and as the graphics already says, there is going to be something called hot seat, and this hot seat is going to be very interesting. So is there anyone that knows who will be placing on hot seats outside the inner caucus of Rainbow Youthins? If you think you know who is going to sit on the hot seat today, I'd like you to drop the name. But if you're in the inner caucus, don't drop name. If you know, or maybe the Spirit of God told you or something, or you just did magic and you can imagine who is going to be on that seat, I'd like you to drop it and say, I know who's going to be on the seat. And maybe you can win a gift to the Bahamas, just to have holiday and all that. So with that said, I'd like us to begin to invite our friends. Let's begin to invite our friends, drop the link and tell them, join Kiss and Tell, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's especially on Instagram, even on WhatsApp. Begin to drop the link and tell them that they should join the Kiss and Tell. I'm about to bring in the person that will be sitting on the hot seat. The person that will be sitting on the hot seat of this Kiss and Tell. So I want you to keep your ears open so that you can hear how this person kissed. Thank you, Divine. How this person kissed and how this person is able to say who he kissed or who she kissed. Are you ready? So can we just close our eyes while I bring in the guest that will sit on the hot seat? I'm about to bring in the guest. Can the guest request to join? Can the guest request to join us so that I can add him? Okay.
So, um, as our guest, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, our guest is here. Yes. He's on the hot seat. Whatever. Good afternoon. From here is good afternoon. See the person on the hot seat. Today is going to be bam, 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 bam. Cute guy. Correct. You're making sense. You're dripping. I need to put on my shades. Where is my shade? I think I have shades here. Let me see if I have my shade. Because me, I will not carry last. Let me wear my shade.
Ah, oh,
Oh, my
you're looking
shade.
so
Oh.
beautiful.
Yes, so Samadi Jairo, you're really hearing
Hey,
a drum rolling. How can my guest be making me feel somehow? Let me wear my own glasses. Gang gang. This is Bagbo's gang. Today is Bagbo's gang. Uh-huh. So who can find pass? Mm-hmm. Now we are even. Hi, I'm making sense.
yeah,
My
even
God, I need to go to the Bahamas. This is good. This is something. Oh God, I need to be taken away. I need to be.
Bluetooth
All right.
mode. You really look nice on the glasses.
Yeah. Thank you,
It's
darling.
beautiful.
Thank you, darling. Okay, so I'm not going to take this up. So if you're joining us, welcome. Please let's begin to send the links to our friends for them to join us. And please, as you come in, keep your ears open, and let's send the links. Let's invite them to join. And thank you. So I guess you're welcome. We'll just dive straight into today's episode. Gang, gang. So you're going to tell us about yourself. What I want to know is your name, what you do. Just in a nutshell, tell us about yourself.
Okay. Okay. Hope can you hear me very well.
Yeah.
My name is Wisdom. Okay, my name is Wisdom Asibe. Wisdom Ozioma Asibe. Um, I just finished my university. Yes, glory to God, I'm a graduate, and yes, I am a computer science graduate. Yeah, and I am a
Hmm.
teenager. I just did my birthday 2 days ago, and I'm very happy about that. Like, I just, uh, I just, I just clocked 20 years. So
Oh.
it's a nice, it's a nice achievement for me. I'm very happy about that. Yes, that's me.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very
Congratulations for
much.
marking your birthday and clocking the round figure. 20 is the round figure. Congratulations. We'll have to pour you water after this. Okay, so thank you for introducing yourself. Thank you. We'll
Thank
thank
you.
you for your
Bye.
journey so far. We'll thank you for the journey so far. Okay, so I want you to tell us your story in a nutshell, that you're summarizing your story so that the audience can understand, and then from there we'll pick up questions for you. So summarize the story, and what I mean is the introduction of your story, the middle of the story, and the end, so that people listening can understand what it is that we're asking you question about.
Okay. Okay, everyone. Okay, my story is about one of the special things that happened to me in my life, which was last year. Yeah, it was last year, August precisely. Yeah, it started August when. Thank you very much, somebody. Yeah, thank you very much. So my birthday has passed. Okay, it started last year. It happened last year, August. I would say the beginning of August, after my university, after I signed out from school and I just finished my project. Yes, after university, you have to know what is the next stage of your life. Many people after university, the next stage of their life is their NYSC. Many people after university, the next stage of their life is to go continue their father's business or to go continue something. So after university, I had to, even while I was in the university, I had to think about what is the next stage of my life. So while I
Mhm.
was thinking about what would be the next stage of my life, I decided that I want to experience the reward alone. I want to experience the reward alone. So my story is all about the experience I got trying to see the world alone without the help of anybody or with the help of Almighty God. Yes, just to see the reward alone. So while immediately after my sign out, I had my parents, they called, they wished me, they congratulated me, and everybody asked, what next? Where are you coming home? Are you? So I said, I'm not coming home. He said, okay, where is your destination? I said, I want to go to Lagos. He said, wow, you want to go to Lagos? Why? Actually, I told them I want to go to Lagos because I know I could easily understand the place and I could easily get something for myself. Meanwhile, I also have my own motives, which I don't really need to tell everybody. You understand? So, yeah, one of these my motives were
Yes.
I wanted to build my brand. I wanted to build my brand. So, I want to build my brand. I discovered that Lagos is a very busy area and it's a place whereby people easily attend, or will I say, they patronize everything that comes up. If you look at the musicians, if you look at every business that comes up, once it gets to Lagos, it gets audience because Lagos is a very, very busy area. With statistics, it's like the largest African city in the world, in the whole of Africa, rather. So, like it has the largest population, sorry, in the whole of Africa. So it's where I think when I sat down while I was in school, I thought that I need to go to Lagos. So because the best place I could experience and whatever I want to experience concerning concerning the world. So yeah, so when I called and everyone said, okay, it's all right, you could move to Lagos, okay, no problem. Where do you want to go stay in Lagos? And I actually had an aunt I wanted to go and stay with for complications and all that. I had to improvise. So yes. So meanwhile, while I was in Lagos, I saw a lot of things. I experienced a lot of things, and it was it was something I can never forget in my life, and I know I'm going to tell my children about it. And I think it was one of the largest stone I've ever stepped on. Yes, I think one of the largest stone I've ever stepped on to chasing my dreams and chasing my visions. So while I was in Lagos, I went to Lagos. I had no money. Yes, because I had my transport to get to Lagos, but I had no other money for any other thing. And but I already know what I wanted. I don't know what I wanted and what I wanted to do. I wanted to build my brand, and not only that, I wanted to experience a lot of things. Oh, thank you, boss, Mr. Olu. Thank you for coming in. This is one of my boss. So okay, while I was in Lagos, it was something else actually. It was something else, but it was actually an experience which I know God guided me through. Hope you can hear me, ma'am. Hope everyone can
Yes,
hear me.
yes, I'm following you.
Thank you. It was something else. I know God guided me through it. So I had a lot of experience, right? Actually, I had a lot of experience. One of these experiences even the day I came into Lagos. I was very tired after the long journey and everything. I went to my uncle's office for the very first time, or sorry, the second time rather. But I went there alone. I went to NAFRIC. NAFRIC, they call it Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center. Yes, NAFRIC headquarters, Oshodi. That was my destination, straight from school. I
Okay,
didn't
so
stop anywhere.
I'm going to cut you short so that I can ask you a question. So
Okay.
you were done with school, and like I know you did
Yes.
school in Nigeria, so you wanted to come into Lagos on your own, to experience life. Is it just to experience life, or was there something very concrete you wanted to achieve in Lagos?
If there is something very concrete I wanted to achieve in Lagos.
Yes.
Yes, actually my brand is actually a very important something to me because
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of cousins. I have about 35 cousins on my mom's side. So I'm like one of the smallest in the group. So I see my cousins actually I want to do better than what they did. So I really wanted to have my own business, my own brand. I want to like work on my brand. That was very, 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 very important to me. And also I had that was like one of the most important personally to me. And I have another one. I wanted to work on my knowledge in hardware engineering. I also wanted to have ideas in hardware engineering. I needed that. I wanted to have ideas in hardware engineering. So this was it. This was it. Hardware computer engineering. I want to have ideas in that, and I want to work on my brand. This was my main
Okay,
aim
so
going to Lagos. Yes, ma'am.
okay, so before you came to Lagos, you can just say I'm coming to Lagos. Was there any concrete place you wanted to stay? Because before traveling,
Okay.
most times as a youth, you would make contact, maybe uncle, aunt, and all that. Is there any concrete arrangement you made of where to stay?
Okay. Actually, few months. Sorry, few months before going to Lagos, I had a discussion with my aunt, and she agreed I could come into Lagos. She had about a 3 bedroom flat, which I know could contain me as of then. So we had this discussion, and she agreed that okay, when I told her the semester will be rounding up by September, I'll be defending. Sorry, by August, I'll be defending by August, the first week of August. So at least that same week, I should be moving down to Lagos. So she agreed. That was June, early July. So that was my hope, and that was where I wanted to go stay. But coming to August, I called her back, and she gave me some kind of very surprising news. It was a very surprising news. She was like, she have a lot of nephews, a lot of nieces that just came in recently, and everywhere is jam packed, and the whole place is jam packed, and she don't know if it's gonna be possible. I know she would have been thinking, because I already have a house in Nigeria, which is not a problem, but she doesn't know I actually have a vision, which I just cannot move down to my destination. So, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a very big problem as of then, because I just I just told her thank you very much for wanting to accommodate me the first time. So it's not a problem. So I was very appreciative. She was even happy that she even thought I actually had a very good option, but she never knew I actually did not have a serious option in hand. So immediately after that, I called my dad immediately. I said, that is there anyone in Lagos that is related to us? I would love to stay. So he told me, you have one of your uncle in Lagos, you could call him. He works with the military and all that. So I think I called my uncle, and my uncle said, actually the house he has at the moment in Lagos was not able to accommodate even his family, because his sons, when they come to the house, they are schooling in the university. So when they come to the house, they don't sleep in the house, because the house is not able to accommodate them as well. So when they come, they sleep in one of their friends' house, and then in the morning they come back to the house. These barracks, is in the barracks. So the barracks, there are a lot of houses in barracks and all that. So, but he said I should just come in. I think God had a hand in that, because he just said I should just come in, and I think he was having faith that he'll be moving to a bigger house in no time. So I
Okay,
came in.
so you now you when your aunt disappointed, you had a second option, option two. Okay, which is
Yes,
your
how to
uncle's house.
improvise,
Okay,
which was my
so
uncle. My
what?
uncle's house in the park, yes.
Okay, did you come to your uncle's house?
Myself,
Did you arrive at your uncle's place?
okay. Um, I arrived in his office, which is a workshop, a very big workshop. If you go to the barracks, they have different workshops. They have fine art workshop, they have photography workshop, they have wedding workshop and all that. So I arrived in his workshop. I stayed for hours waiting for him to be free or something. So when I got to meet with him, after we discussed, he didn't even have time to discuss. He just told me he's busy, he's going somewhere. What's going to happen is he's going to come back in the evening, and by the time he come back in the evening, we're going to know where I'm going to sleep. So I said, okay, no problem. I had to sit in his office till evening hours. So evening hours, he came in and was like, okay, there's a board inside the store. You move down with the board, and then you're going to sleep with the board. You're going to sleep in the workshop.
Hmm.
So I
Okay,
say,
so
wow,
at this point in time, because I want our viewers to understand them so that we can also go to the next question. So
okay, no problem.
he said when he comes back, he was going to discuss with you, and so you were hoping that the discussion will be that he's taking you to the house. So your uncle
Yes, that
comes
was
back.
my.
Yes. So he comes back to tell you that you'll be sleeping on the board as a hard surface in a workshop.
Yes, yes, yes,
How
yes,
did you feel
actually.
when you heard about that?
Um, actually, it was weird. It was weird because I know even in school and at home, I have somewhere to sleep very well. So it sounded like a discouragement. Like, why don't you just tomorrow you just take your things and then you go back home and then you can sleep very well. So, but what happened was while I was being discouraged, I think I choose the right path. I think I encouraged myself. I just I just said I could do with it. I could do it. In fact, because he was my uncle, I didn't have to let him know I felt bad. So I think that helped me a lot. So I smiled over it. I said, okay, sir, no problem, sir. So I didn't want him to know that I felt bad for it, but I think when I smiled over it, I adapted immediately. I
Okay,
adapted
so I want
immediately.
you to briefly tell us about your sleeping and living experience.
Okay, I'm gonna do that now. Thank you. Okay, after he said I'll be sleeping there, that was that night. But he said I have to come to the house to see his wife and the family. So when I went to the house, I met with his wife, that is my aunt, and I met with his sons. The eldest sons, they were not around. Yeah, the ones who are older than I am, they were not around. There are two of them. Yeah, so when I met with with the sons and the wife, on my way going back, I think he had a change of mind. He said, because one of his son, Miracle, he said, there's one bed right inside, kind of all those small, it's not the problem, but all those small bed. He said, instead of me to use the board, yes, the foam, thank you very much, the foam. Instead of me to use the bed, I should make use of the foam. So I think I actually I felt a little bit better. I felt a little bit better, but I had to carry it back to the workshop. So this was my sleeping experience. I move in every night, every evening. I move in by 6 p.m., 5:30, 6 p.m. at most into the workshop. Like maybe I'm coming to give them a job, or I'm coming to ask for a job, or I'm coming to see anybody who works in the workshop. I come in 6 p.m. because 6 p.m. is when they are about leaving the workshop. So I come in to meet the workers in the workshop, like I'm coming for a job or something. So whenever I come in 6 p.m., and when I come in 6 p.m., he leaves the workshop. My boss, my uncle, he leaves the workshop. His colleagues, his workers, everybody, they leave the workshop, and they kind of lock the gates outside with a stone, because someone is inside, which is me. I'm always inside. So that's what happens. So when I sleep, I come in 6 p.m., and while I'm in the workshop, it's actually not comfortable. It's very much not comfortable because there's mosquitoes. In fact, there's
Wow.
cold, and
Yeah.
a workshop is not arranged. It's a
Yes.
fine art workshop. A fine art was never arranged. So when I come in, I don't on the lights.
Hmm.
So I sweep the workshop most times without lights.
Hmm.
Because I can't lie down and then in the midnight, ant now bite me. You
Hmm.
understand? Something like that. I make sure I sweep the workshop, the place, the area I'm going to sleep. I sweep it at night without light. So I sweep it, and I enter the bathroom without light as well to take my
Hmm.
bath because I can't put on the light. Once you put on the light, the soldiers guiding the workshop will come in, and that will be a different story altogether. In fact, they will take me to the
Hmm.
guard room, and I don't know what next. So I was told not to put on the lights. I was told not to play music. I was told not to talk that loud. These are things I was told. Yes, these are things I was told. Because I think, because at night, at midnight, they patrol around the whole workshop, the soldiers. So once they hear any music, or they hear a voice, or they hear a sound, they try to investigate what is going on inside the workshop. So
Hmm.
I was I was like, I had to work silently with everything I was doing, which was
Hmm.
never comfortable. It was never comfortable.
I get
But
it.
I had to push it because I had a goal. Yes, and I live, and I live at least. Okay, I wake up at least 4 a.m. If late 5 a.m. so that I should take my bath. After taking my bath,
Hmm.
I should be ready. I should dress, rub my cream, everything, just ready, brush my hair, everything. Then I'll be seated with one of my bag like that I used to step out. Yes. Then waiting for any of the worker to come in. So once the worker comes in, I step out at the same time.
Hmm.
You understand? Or either I step out because the door is already open. The door is not locked. The door will never want the lock. It's always open. What happened is they just use a stone to cover it because they can't lock me inside and I can't lock them outside. You understand? So it's not always locked. And it was a very big issue because if anything misses in the workshop, it's a
Hmm.
big problem. Yes, it's a big problem. All those barracks are it's a big problem. But actually, what happened is I would meanwhile, I had my plans, I had the vision and all that, and not because I am. Will I say because I'm passing through a lot. I have to let go my visions. No, I didn't have to do that.
I'm going to
I had to
ask you a
carry my
question.
vision around.
Yeah, I'm going to cut you short.
Okay.
I want to ask you a question. How were you feeding? Just brief answer. How were you eating? Because now you were in the barracks. Viewers, I hope you're understanding what he's saying. He is not sleeping in a house. He's sleeping in a workshop in the barracks, the Nigerian army barracks. And if you've been to
Yes,
such
ma'am.
places, you will. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
And if you've been to the barracks, you understand how very disorganized and messed up it is. And he's saying that he's saying that he was to go there without lights. He's not to use lights to do anything. He's to shower in the dark. He's to sleep in the dark. So he crawling things like creatures like snake and even harm him and all that. He's just like somebody that was cast out. So I'd like to ask you first, how
That's
were
the
you?
right word.
Yes, how were you feeling? One, then two, how were you feeling? How was your mental state at that point in time?
Okay. First, I'll answer the first question first, which is how I was feeling. Actually, um, I wasn't eating in the morning, first of all, and obviously I'm in the bar, I'm in the workshop, and I can't cook. I can't cook. So what happened is when I step out, maybe to Lagos, when I step out to Lagos, I just maybe eat from one mama put or something. Or I ate a lot of Indomie because I ate a lot of Indomie. Me shy. Yes. So that was the way I was feeling. In fact, it was very difficult because as of the beginning aspect, I didn't have money and I didn't have to cook. I had to buy food. So I could stay morning down to evening before I try to get something because I have less cash, in fact almost no cash.
Hmm.
And so it was a very very tough something for me. It was a very tough something. In fact, I think I macheted a lot. I couldn't I didn't take I almost did not take pictures while I was around while I was there because I couldn't even look at myself. I couldn't look at myself.
So how was
I wasn't able
your
to.
mental state at that time? How were you? What was it?
My mental state. I think I think I think first of all my mental state was a very big something. My mental state was something else. In fact, I'm just thanking God for the way I am now. Like I thank God I survived because I think I wasn't feeling good at all. I wasn't feeling in fact I was sad throughout.
Hmm.
In fact, if I would like to say I was heartbroken
Hmm.
because it was something I could not but okay, I would just say what helped me is because I was actually obsessed with trying to make it. Yeah, I was obsessed with my vision, with my plan. That was what helped me because I think if I did not have a plan and this was just a normal situation I'm facing, I think I would have given up on it. I would have given up on it because
Okay.
there are times you call me, I mute the call because I can't communicate with that person. If I communicate with the person, we'll end up having some kind of you don't get me, I don't get you, and we'll lose the relationship. So I think I communicated less while I was there because I was scared of in fact I was aggressive to an extent. I think I was aggressive to every small thing makes me upset, every small thing irritates me, every small thing. But I was sad. I was sad. And I
Okay.
thank God
During this period, during this vision, during this period, sleeping in the workshop, I can imagine the dilapidatedness of the barrack. Were you once maybe molested and embarrassed? Something bigger, something strange? Did something very strange happen to you? Maybe you were molested, attempted to be molested, whether it's involved being robbed or something like that.
actually I wasn't molested, but I think I was embarrassed a couple of times. Yeah, as of that, I was embarrassed a couple of times. When one of them was,
One
I
of who?
think when I was very tired. I think I was very tired and I was ill, and I think I slept over. I slept over. I didn't meet up with time. I didn't wake up at the right time, and I think the one of the inspectors came in, or I don't know, I forgot what they called him, what they called them. One of the high ranked soldiers came in and whipped. He shouted on me, and in fact, I even thought that they were about to start flogging me because I was. In fact, I think I cried. I cried that day. I cried because I was sick. I couldn't tell anybody. I couldn't explain to them that I'm not feeling fine. That is why I slept over. In fact, they never knew I was sleeping there until that day. But it
Hmm.
was something else. It was something else. It was, in fact, I had a lot of query. I had a lot of query. It was like I'm giving you like an opportunity, and I'm giving you an opportunity, and you're just listening, not knowing that I wasn't even feeling fine at that
You're
moment.
feeling fine.
So
Yeah, it's very
they
easy for us to do such a thing to somebody that is not our child, because if you're your uncle's, yeah, sorry, I know you're crying. If you're your uncle's son, he won't do that. He won't reduce you to that level. Even if there is no space, he will make an option. So it's obviously that you'll be feeling like you're an outcast, because if you're his sons have places that he can sleep. So an extra one child will not be too much for him. It's just obviously because you're not their son, and they had to put you through this. But I'm going to ask you one question before I ask you, how were you able to navigate? Because apparently you mentioned you don't have money, you didn't have money, and then
I
later
did
on
I did
that things changed for you. So I'm going to ask you what you did that made things to change, like you started having money. But that's not my question now. My next question is, did you ever feel hatred for your uncle and his wife for putting you through this stress? Because one extra person cannot do anything to them. They already have children. So you taking you as one of their children is not a problem. It's just that they see you as an outsider. So they cannot afford to give you the same treatment that they give to their children, their sons. They have lots of sons. So did you ever feel hatred for them?
Yes, actually, there was a point in time when I actually felt very bad. Not for my uncle actually, but for his I would say his wife, something like that. Because the reason he told me why I could not stay in the house is because they are ladies and they cannot adapt to me there. Yes. So that was the reason he gave to me. So I had no reason why I should be really angry with him, but I was really upset with his wife because I grew up in my house with about no less than 10 people, not my family members, in my own father's house. In fact, while growing up, I was thinking I was about the seventh child. I never knew I was the first son because I had a lot of aunties, I had a lot of uncles staying in my house, a lot of not even related. Some of them are just my dad's sons and all that. So I felt bad because I meant no harm, and they know I come in and I leave every morning. I just needed somewhere I'm going to sleep. That's all. I needed somewhere I could call a home actually in Lagos that will make my mind relax. So to an extent, I felt I think I disliked. I won't say hatred actually, but I say I really disliked her. That I didn't even want to go. I didn't even want to visit them at home. There are times they're going to call me. They're going to say, "I wish on these 3 days you not come to the house." The house is just not too long, not too far from the workshop. These 3 days you not come to the house. I'll be like, I'm very busy. I come in very late. That's why. Meanwhile, I just don't want to go to the house because I don't want to see their face. But on the long run, I think I thought it over. I thought it over. I think there was no point hating them any longer because everyone has everyone has his own kind of lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and not everyone can adapt to a kind of something. So I think it was like me taking a poison for someone else to die for it. Meanwhile, I'm the one killing myself.
In the poison.
So I had
I
to,
love I
yeah,
love
I had
that.
to let go.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hatred
I
is
had to
like
let go.
drinking poison. It's a poisonous substance,
Yeah, so,
and then waiting for someone
yeah,
else to die, whereas you're the one to die. Please,
and yeah,
editorial, make sure you tweet this today. Let's not forget this
so,
very, very apt hatred, hating your object of pain, the thing, the person that is causing you pain. When you hate the person so much, it's likened to you taking a poisonous substance and then wishing for somebody that didn't take it to die, whereas you that took it will be the one that is already dying. Thank you for that. So I'm going to ask one short question. Did you ever think of doing something illegal or something negative to put a roof on your head, over your head? Because one, you're young. As at that time you were 19, you were just a fresh graduate at a very great age. And I could see that a lot of the Nigerian youth, even the African youth, they're into Yahoo, they're into quick wealth, smuggling, stealing, and all whatnot, especially Yahoo, rituals and all that to make quick money they couldn't take because at that time you were suffering, you were in pain, you had every justification to do whatever you want to do. So did you ever think of doing that when you were passing through all this discomfort and painful experiences?
ma'am, the question, the network was a little bit cracking when you are. Can you please come again with the question again, please? Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll repeat. I said, as at the time this incident happened, you were very young, you were 19. And
Yes, ma'am.
what is very popular amongst the African youth, the Nigerian youth, is Yahoo. They want quick wealth, Yahoo, smuggling, ritual, and all that. So during this period of your life, or during this season of your life, did you ever think of doing something illegal? To be able to raise money, put roof over your head, and be able to eat and drink and have a little comfort. Did you ever think of that?
Yeah, actually, there was a specific day that particular thought came to my head. Actually, that was on a Saturday. That was a Saturday. I think, you know, on a Saturday in the workshop they don't work on a Saturday and on a Sunday. So I had the whole
Okay.
workshop to myself because nobody's going to come to the workshop. So
Mm-hmm.
that day I also did not have resources with me. In fact, I did not have anything with me. I think there was light. So I was like at the end part of the workshop. I was just seated there with the foam. I sprayed the foam so that because I can't sit in the middle or something because anybody passing through the workshop will see me through the middle or something. So I have to stay at
Mm.
the edge of the wall. So yeah, so I was seated and I was questioning myself while I was in school. I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends which who had money, good money, like serious money, and this money was not actually plain. They were not straightforward because of what they do. I even have one of them who stayed with me at a particular time. He's a woman at night, but by he's a woman at night. He's like he speaks to a guy like a woman at night just to take money from the person. And in fact, he was making the money. But to an extent, I said he will make money to an extent that he do unlimited and we use his hotspot. And I'm like, damn guy, this is your life. So I thought about it. I was like, why did I just do something different? Because it was looking as if there was no way forward. Because I had
Mm.
options. I had a lot of options. I had a lot of options. Like I,
Mm.
I think I think I'm smart enough to be able to do something. But I want to do someone, I want to cheat on someone. I think I should be smart enough to do that. So
Mm.
that day I thought about it because I think it was even because of I was hungry. I think I was very hungry that day. In fact, thank God came to my aid because hmm, I think I was thinking about it a lot. I was thinking about it. I was like, why am I still on this same lane?
Mm.
So it was after I finished eating, I had to banish the thoughts. But
So
after, but I
how
think
did
if
you
I had
eat?
not,
How did the food come in?
Okay, one of uh, one of the third son of my uncle, he came to the workshop to do a job for his father. Yes, it's a fine art workshop. Fine art, they're the one who do name tag, and the one who do all these ranks and all that for the military. So he came to do a name tag for a soldier. So when he came to the workshop, he saw me there. I was seated. I was really not feeling fine. I was really not feeling fine actually. So he and I told you I was just at the edge of the wall. I was just there, hopeless. I'm not eating nothing. So when he saw me, he was like, Wisdom, you're around. I said, yes, I'm around, bro. How far? He said he wants to do a job for somebody and another. And I said, okay, how much is going to come out of the job? So that something will come out for me now. So that I can help you and do the job. It was like the job is that is taking the money. But what he's gonna do is gonna go home and you think they cooked at home. So he's gonna take some food from the pot to the cooler and bring for me. I said, no problem. That's no problem. I think I normally I would have said, no, don't do it. But I think I was like it was my dream. I was really hungry. I was really hungry. I
I can
couldn't say
imagine.
no. So yeah, I couldn't say no. So he left and this was a cooler of food and I think I just scrape one and scrape one and the food is done. And then after that I had to put on my system and I had to focus back again. I had to focus back again because it
Oh, okay.
was
So
something
God came
else.
through again. God came through this time. Which is to say that if God didn't make this happen, you would have thought of the other way, the illegal way, right?
I think your network is cracking a little bit.
Is
Uh,
your network. Where I am, network doesn't crack. What I'm saying is, so God manifested in that situation, right? Can you hear me?
no, I didn't hear that very well, please.
I said, so God manifested in that situation, right?
Yes, God manifested.
Yes. So if God didn't manifest in that situation, you had already gotten to your end that you were ready to join the other way to make money.
Yeah, actually, if I did not see anything to eat, I would have called down my guy to tell him, okay, what is the update? But first of all, you have to give me some money up front because I have to be alive for us to do anything. I have a lot of them on my WhatsApp. So I think it wasn't a big deal. One thing about these guys, they don't help their friends. They don't help their friends. All they just want is, are you ready to work with me? You're ready to work with me, then you could you could enjoy with me. That's all. In fact, they can't give you money. They are ready to step out with you. You step out with them, you go out, you go to a very big eatery, you spend not less than how much there, a very big amount of money, but they're not going to give you transport to go back. You're going to come with your transport, you're going to go back with your own transport. They're going to eat very well. So I think I was ready to call one of them like that. But I was ready to tell him you're going to pay me upfront first. So I could be alive and then we run this thing. So thank God God came through. I
Okay,
think
so I'm going to
he
ask
had
you
me
a
in his
quick
plan.
question. Okay, I'm going to ask you a quick question. So how did you pull through? Because you said in trying to explain the story, you said later you started making money. So you were still lying in that dilapidated workshop. How did you start making money that you were not able to try to rent a house despite being abandoned and rejected? At least I want us young people as you're listening to pick the story and pick what he did because it's very important. That's the essence of kiss and tell, for you to learn. So this time around, our guest on the hot seat is going to tell us how he was able to navigate that situation. One, he was abandoned in the workshop in the barrack. He was left to be hungry, to be cold, to be beaten by mosquitoes and all whatnot. He was just he was like in a reject. But he said he was not able to begin to hustle from the workshop. So, Wisdom, I want you right now to tell us how did you hustle? in that workshop, and then you were able to raise, what amount were you able to raise that you were not thinking of getting a job in a house?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Um, actually, first of all, I'm going to give God thanks. I'm going to give God the praise for taking me through for that, because I think, as meanwhile, while I was going through all this, I still had my vision and my mission at heart. Yes. At night, I go through a course. There was a course I go through in Allison. I don't know if anybody know about Allison. Allison is yeah, it's kind of an online university. So while I go to this while I go to this course, I see some, I get some ideas. Some ideas. I think my mind was going wild, and I think I was going to this course every night while I was in the workshop. So what happened was, there was a particular day I think I also was, I think I do a lot of thinking when I really did not have, as of then, I did a lot of thinking when I really did not have something to eat. I was just looking for a way to pave my way out. So um, the first thing I did was having my brand in mind. Having my brand in mind, I thought that the best escape route is to really, really invest in this my brand. So while I was in the workshop, this is a fine art workshop. Nobody knows that the difference between a fine art workshop and a graphics brand is that a fine art workshop is hardware and a graphics brand is software. I think I discovered that while I was in the workshop.
Hmm.
I see that they do the banners. They can do a very big banner, but they designed it and draw it with their hands. Meanwhile, I could just use just 30 seconds to design this banner. Sorry, just about 30 minutes or an hour to design this banner, and then send it to you and you print it. You think that the person actually drew the banner. So I was
Hmm.
just getting the experience. I was running errands for my uncle as well. I went to a lot of places in Lagos. I went to Mushi, I went to Ikeja, I went to Ojota, I went to a lot of places. So now, coming to how I started making money. While I went to all these places for this fine art workshop, maybe sometimes he wants to go and print a banner, he will say I should go there and I should get this banner for him. So when I go to the workshop, especially in Mushi, I will relate to the person, I will see the way they do things, how much they print and all that. And I see that it was cheap and all that. And meanwhile, I was still designing, though I wasn't getting clients that much. I was really not actually getting clients. In fact, I was still designing for about 500 to 2,000 naira. That was 2,000 naira was my highest amount of design. And so then, so you see, I wasn't even actually seeing 5 naira, because by the time 2,000 naira just comes in, it's finishing that time because there's nothing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy data, I'm gonna do this. So I spent, and then I wasn't that swift. So when I spend not less than 15 hours on a design or 12 hours on a design because of the ideas and all that, and then you now give me 2,000 naira, and then I see that 2,000 naira in space of 2 hours or 3 hours, or in fact by the time I buy data, by the time oh God. So what I did was I started making, after knowing all these places, I started making research. I started writing proposals to people. I started DMing people. Started telling them I could do this design for you better off in a cheaper way. So sometimes when they evaluate, they'll be like, some of them will be like, do a design for me since you can do a better one. And when I do the design and I charge them, they will just block me. They will not pay me my money.
Hmm.
Yes, I faced a lot of that. I faced it a
Hmm.
lot. In fact, then that made me went online to go and search how to have a design policy. which policy will I use to work with people that they can't take my design and they don't pay me? So I learned about that. I discovered that there was a way I could do it, which I'm actually using till date. I discovered that over there. So, okay, while at night, while I was doing my course, I was still making researches, I was still DMing people. So, as God may have it, since I'm into graphic design, I have not started printing, but I started advertising that I do print. Why? Because I already know a place to print, but I'm not started printing. So I think one of my friends came across. This was my friend in my 100 level. I told her that because she was quite a bit aged older than I was. I told her when you're gonna get married, I'll be the one to design your wedding banner and your wedding everything. In fact, I'll be the one to handle it. So she actually laughed at me then because I think I still did not want to have the laptop to design while I was in my 100 level first semester. So she laughed. In fact, she seriously laughed at me like, "Wisdom, you will not." Because that time, what I do tell them is that kind of thing when I was on the level. So it would be like she was like that kind of thing. I beg go. So when I told her I started, I do print while I was in Lagos, she texted me. So like, this don't mean you do print. Okay, run this one for me. I told her I'm going to do it for you free. This was where I made my first cash. I told her I'm going to do it for you free. She said, you're going to do it for me? I said, yeah, I'm going to do it for you free, but I'll print it for you. She said, you print it for me? I said, yes. When I went to the printout, I discovered the amount. I added 50% of the amount on top. I told her it's free. Just print, and then I'll web it for you. So like, wow, I'm very grateful. I did design. I spent about I used over a night to make sure I gave her a perfect design because she had a lot of options. She had a lot of options which I did not actually matter. So when she told me that, I was like, okay, I've done your design. I sent her the design. She was like, this is very beautiful. And she printed it. I thought that before you're telling me, I've already started printing it. In case you want to say you're not doing it again, it's already printing. You have to pay for the printout. So she said, okay, no problem. So I did the printout. And I think I made about close to 50,000 that design, about 30 to 50,000 for just that banner. It was just a t-shirt. So I went to the print. They print for not less than 10,000 naira. And I charged her for one printout about 25,000 for one printout, and not less than 10,000 naira. So I discovered that there is money inside. So immediately I sent it to her. In fact, I was telling her, you're printing, everything is great. Send your money. She sent her money. And she sent the money. I was just smiling. I was happy. I don't told the printer, I don't tell the person, do my job fast, do my job. I don't have time, I'm working, I'm a very busy person. Take this money. I send the whole money to the person.
Your language changed immediately.
I sent the whole money to the person, and because I was very smart, I was smiling because I saw the amount of money that was in my account as well. Then just that small something I actually did. So when I sent it to her, she was like, wow, I'm very grateful. And even did it cheap for me. She's in Abuja. And I think it's actually expensive in Abuja.
Yeah, it's actually
expensive. Yeah, I said, yes, I just did it cheap for you. And because it's you, I did it free. So your white wedding, I'm still available. She said, okay, you're available, my white wedding. She said, you'll be the one to do my white wedding because it's very beautiful. Her husband liked it, everybody liked it. So it was even like I should put my number in it so that she can advertise on her wedding day and all that. So immediately, I met my cousin who had a very smart iPhone. I was like, take me pictures now with this banner. I want to advertise. So she took me a lot of pictures, a lot of pictures. So I advertised, I put it on my WhatsApp. So if I started DMing people with it, I did not have anybody time. I said, DMing people. If you don't like it, you tell me you don't like it, and then that as well. You will not fight. So I DM people. Immediately, about just 2 weeks or a weekend, I had a call from Cameroon that they wanted me to work for a project for them. That they want to fly me down to Cameroon to work on that for a book for them. So I was like, wow, you want to fly me down? They say, yes, this project is about, they say the project is not yet on ground, but there are other projects if I'm able to do. Actually, I did not really know how to do it, but I say yes, I can do it
Hmm.
because I did not want to take chances. So they say, okay, they sent me. They said they want me to rebrand the school. This is a secondary this is a secondary and primary. Okay, sorry, this is a primary and nursery school. They want me to rebrand the school in Cameroon. I said, wow, okay, I'm available. I could rebrand the school. So they sent me the details. They sent me the old logo. They sent me the color and all that. I said, okay, I will need to lecture you on one. I need to have an interview with you. I went online immediately. I said, please, how would I rebrand a school? They said, you have to have an interview. You have to. I said, wow. I said, I just texted the person, I need to have an interview with you. You know, we are professionals, so we have to make things professional. I said, wow, that is very good. That I think it's gonna. So I said, yes. I called the person. I did my interview. The interview said I picked the questions from online. I said I'll work on the questions later. So I did my interview and everything. I already know what I wanted to do. The interview was just for me to just let her know that I am actually yes. So
A
meanwhile,
professional.
after this interview, they were very happy that actually the work has gone to someone and which is actually very, very a professional. So in the space of 3 days or 4 days, at most a week, I rebranded the school. I sent them just one logo. Normally I was to send 3 logos, but I did one because I don't have time. Like I don't have okay. The system I was working with was a dual core HP, which doesn't have a battery. So I need to have a place where I can plug my laptop and be working. If light goes like this, my work is gone.
Hmm.
So I can't just go anywhere and start designing. I have to be at least at night. That was my only time to design. In daytime, I don't design at day. When you ask me, I'll say, okay, no problem, I'll be on it. But I'm not designing. That night, I'm going to design. So I used about 3, 4 days. I sent her one. When she saw the logo, she called me. She said, Mr. Wise, you have done something very nice. In fact, we want to print t-shirts with this
Hmm.
logo. We
Hmm.
want to print t-shirts. We want to print book. We want to print. In fact, we want to change everything of our school with this logo. This is our school logo. Send me your account number. She wired my money, very big good amount of money, and I was very happy. I
Hmm.
was very happy because in fact, I said I don't want to. In fact, I want to remain in
Okay.
Lagos.
Okay. So
And
do
in
you
fact,
think
now I'm going to
all
ma.
this while, that all this while that this light started coming in, you were still in the workshop, right?
Yet I was still in the workshop. I never
Good.
left the workshop.
Good. So do you think that the significant things that were not happening in your life is because you persevered in the workshop?
The significant things that were not happening in my life is because
These these great things now, this light that were not coming into your life, do you believe that, or do you think that it's because you persisted in the workshop? You didn't leave that experience.
yes,
You didn't run back
yes, that
home, comfort, you continue to stay in that suffer. And you were not able to breath these great ideas that you're running with right now. Do you think that?
yes, ma. I think that was the ignition. That was what gingered me a lot to start pushing. I think I wouldn't have had those ideas if I was not in the workshop. Because I was
Mm.
in the workshop, they sent me those errands to Mushi, they sent me those errands to Ojota, they sent me those errands to Oshodi, the market and all that. So I think it was because of the patience and all that. In fact, while I was in the workshop, I started I started discovering that I am at the right path because when I made one, I made two, I made three, and then the ones that were about coming, like the t-shirts, I was seeing like more than up to 6 zeros coming in. I was like, this is something serious. So I knew I was in the right path. You understand? So it was because I had the patience. I had the
Okay.
patience to stay there.
How long did it take in the workshop before you started having this breakthrough? How long did the suffering, the
I
dark
stayed,
time, how long
I
did it
already
take
stayed
before you
about
started having this?
I stayed about 3 months in the workshop already before I made the
This
first
breakthrough?
money in the workshop. Yes.
Okay, so I'm
So
sure those listening to us, young people listening to us, his breakthrough didn't just happen the next day or the next week. He stayed
no,
for 3 months, suffering, dejected, rejected, hunger, mosquito, cold, not knowing what we click on that small platform and kill him or whatever. He stayed there, he was sick, hunger. 3 good months. That's 90 days, right? That's 90 days. He stayed
yeah,
there.
that's
So
day.
because
Absolutely.
as you're listening to our guest on the hot seat, I want you to be learning because most times you want to truncate the process. Life, every one of us have processes that we must pass through to get to our destination, to get to our breakthrough, to get to our achievement. But then when we try to truncate the process, that's when we lose it. He said he was going to even start thinking, considering of his other friends, their Yahoo, their fast money, being a woman at night when he's a male. But we thank God that God came through for him. The process is very apt, very important. If he had his father, those of you that know him, they have comfortable hearts even in Nigeria, but not in Lagos. If he had run away and quickly go home to his comfort zone to, eat, where he's comfortable, it's the same thing as when God was telling Abraham, leave thy father's house. Say, leave your mindset, leave your perception, leave the things leave your comfort zone. So he left his comfort zone and he stayed in a place that he's seen as a dejected person. If you know the Nigerian Barracks very well, that's when you might understand, when he even broke down crying, you understand what he's saying. But if you've never visited the Nigerian Barracks, you might not understand it. It's a dilapidated place for somebody to be
Very, very
sleeping
big.
in the night, creeping in the night, back in the night. You cannot on your phone, nothing. You just, and then one day he overslept because he was sick. Because only mosquito and cold will give you malaria and typhoid. He overslept because he was sick. They dealt with him. Hunger and all that, but he persisted. He didn't run back home or call his father. Because that's one thing I'm going to ask before I ask you the last question. Why is it that during this period you didn't call your parents? Because of course they will panic and say, "Oh, let's send them money to come," or call other people. You didn't call me too because I'm your spiritual mother. You didn't call me. I'm just hearing this story as the guests are hearing it. So why is it that you didn't call those you know that they can help? Number one, your parents. And then number two, your spiritual parents. Me, you didn't call me because I would have sent money right away. Or told you, oh yeah, come to Port Harcourt. So why did you call all these people that you know can help you? Why did you say no? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fight through this by myself.
Okay. Actually, I was tempted to call, but I think my kind of person, I try to learn from people's mistakes and people's lifestyle and people's experiences. As I was saying, I have a lot of people older than I am, which I don't want to end up the way they are at the moment, which I don't want to mention names. A lot of people, and why is because they actually had a huge support of their parents. Whenever they want to call, whenever they need their help, they put them on call and they answer them. So this guy, he had all the opportunities. So they felt like if their parents are there, why still growing up? Why they were still teenagers? They acted like since my parents are here, they will forever be there. So I learned from them, a lot of them. I don't want to mention them. There was one of them. Oh Lord. Like I learned from them and I discovered that if I actually put my back on someone to lie on, then I'll forever be lazy and I'll forever want to do that.
Hmm.
What if a day comes in and I call my dad and he say, Wisdom, I'm not available now. And I call another person and say I'm not available now. How am I going to go through the situation? Why not now, which I know that there's I could I could stand. So I
Hmm.
I decided not to call them so as I don't end up like the way others ended up. I don't want to end up like
Hmm.
the way others ended up. I have a lot of them which I know with the money on ground, with with the fame on ground, with the family friends they have. They are supposed to be where they are not at the moment. They're supposed to be in a very high place at the moment. But just because those family they were on ground when he was still growing up. Sometimes I tell my mom, mommy, because my younger siblings as well they are in the boarding house. I tell my mom, mommy, there are some breaks they don't have to come back home. Because when they come back home, they will feel like anytime there's any little break, I can come home. They need to learn how to be independent. Because okay, with that, I think with that, my dad did not have any issue when I said I'm traveling to Benin Republic to stay alone in a different man's country, alone. At what age? I didn't go there for school. I didn't go there to school. Rather, I went there alone to a different man's country. So he had no fear in him. He had no, because he observed that I stayed in Lagos. I never one day called them and say, I want to start coming back home. I'm frustrated. I never one day did that. Rather, when they call me, if they are the one who called me, they call me and say, I will call you back, I'm busy now. And I call them back at night. And when I call them back at night, I tell them everything is going fine. So I think I really want to have that independence. I wanted to have that independence. I wanted to test the independence. And I didn't want to end up in a way that my dad must be the one to feed me, per se, or my aunties or my mom, or when I'm in need, I can't cater for myself, I can't think for myself, I just, how will I even be able, imagine becoming, that is why you see a lot of parents today, they just cannot take care of their children very well, because they end up living under the roof of another person, under the feeding of another person, under every small thing they have. I have a lot of uncles like that. Every small thing they have, why they were younger. I have one of them is about 30 something. In fact, 30 something, and then you're running to your father, you're running to your mom at the age of over 30. What? That is not. I don't think that is the plan of that. I don't think that is even the heart. I don't think that is the heart desire of your father for you. So I think I wanted to be. I want to be very
To be
independent. I didn't
independent,
want to be.
to make ends meet by yourself and not just to be reliant on your parents. That's a very good one for those young people watching, listening. Those that every time you want to be dependent on your parents to do everything for you, you have to step out. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You want them to buy you data. You want them to do this and do that for you. That is the wrong mindset. So I'm going to ask you the last question, and it's two in one. So what has this experience? In what way has this experience helped you? That's Virgo's saga experience. In what way has it helped you, and what has changed most significantly about your life since this experience? I'm going to take it one so that you don't forget it. The first one, how has this experience helped helped you?
Okay. Um, Most times when I speak with a lot of my friends, which or when I speak with people, one of the questions they ask me is, "How old are you?" First of all, and when I tell them I'm just as of then, I'm just 19 years, they'll be like, "You sound way older than your age," as if you actually because I discovered that this Lagos experience was meant for me. It's something I needed to continue my life. It was meant for me. It really helped me a lot. It helped me. In fact, it made me. I created shock absorber. I could absorb shock. You will see everybody's panicking, and I'm like, calm down. You don't need to panic. Calm down. There are a lot of people who panic for things that there are things that are tougher than this, and a lot of people don't panic on it. I am panicking on this little thing to calm
Mm,
down. So I think it built my morale.
mm,
It built my intelligence.
mm.
And one of the things that my Lagos experience helped me in was when I was. It made me discover that there is no limit in life.
Mm.
there's no limit in life. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, there's actually something bigger for you. You just have to push yourself harder. So I think I've been living with that since then, and it's been working for me. It's been working for me. I think it made me. I'm not scared about. I'm scared about nothing. Let me just say it like that. I'm actually not scared about anything because I now, in fact, since then, when I face some situation and smile, I'm like, oh, we'll pass through this. It's something that I can pass through. So I smile. In fact, Lagos experience made me discover that there's no limit. There's no limit to anything that you want to do. And it made me, I think it has shaped me to the extent that I could I could stand where my mates do not stand.
Hmm.
Yes. Because I started I started discussing about what people don't expect me to discuss about. So they have no option than to keep me beside them. Yeah, I started focusing on things that people say, this guy, you're very young to be thinking about it. You have a lot of time. And I'm like, it's not as if I have a lot of time. This is the time that I've caught up with me and I have to work with it. So I end up, I think it made me grow inside and outside. My mentality, my way of discussion, in fact, it was very useful to me. It was very
Okay.
useful to me.
So, in your parting message, thank you for being on the hot seat. What would be your advice for young people?
Okay, my
You know,
advice for young people
those
is
that are those that are going through what that might be going through what you went through later, or that already going through what you went through, or not exactly what you went through, but something a rough edges, going through rough edges.
yes. Okay, we are. Everybody was once a young person, and everybody, if time goes on and if there is life, will definitely be old someday. So everybody must go through this stage. So for young people who are teenagers at the moment, what I'm going to say for them is, first of all, as a teenager, make sure you have a goal.
Mm.
Make sure you identify your vision as a teenager. First of all. Now, second of all, the fruit of the spirit. You see, patience. Patience is a very key word, a very key fruit when you're chasing your goal. You need to have patience. Always work with patience. Like let me just say this. Like when I was I actually thought I thought in fact I thought it's gonna be very impossible. I thought it's gonna be very impossible. After a week or after 2 weeks of having a call from Cameroon, I advertised, I sponsored, I had a call from Liberia, I had a call. In fact, I had a call from the US to work for a book that's going to be published in Amazon. So I discovered that I need to patience is the key for every youth. So what I'm going to say for every youth is have patience, and wherever it seems very tough, you are now very close to the breakthrough.
Hmm.
The moment the situation seems very tough, you are now
Hmm.
very close to the breakthrough. And in everything,
Hmm.
put God first. Put God first, because in whatever you do, if you don't put God first, it's an issue. So I think that there are some times when I still also feel down. I do some prayers and read the Word of God, and I think God planned everything for me. This U Bible version, this U Bible, what they call it. I registered with my email on this U version, and every morning they send me. I put it 12 a.m. Yeah, I put it 12 a.m., which is midnight, because I know I'm always awake every midnight. So if they're going to send me my Bible verse for the midnight, they should send it to me. They should send it. They don't send my Bible verse for the day. They send it to me in the midnight, because I'm awake and I'm going to see the Bible verse. I discovered that the Bible verses they were sending to me were just relating to me, either directly or indirectly. So when you put God first, every other thing will surely add to it.
Thank you so
Also,
much.
at the same time, yes, at the same time, patient, and at the end, we should always have love in our heart. I think, I think, I would have had a very big issue because I didn't talk about the part whereby I started becoming a little bit close with my uncle's wife, which um, which helped me a lot because she started bringing a lot of customers. Okay, because I started by night I was designing. By day I discovered that when I made the first money while designing by night, I told myself I don't want to only wait for night before I start making posts. I also make money. I have to do something by day. So by day I started I go to computer village because I had money on me, so I was not scared. So I go anywhere I want to go to. When I go there, I price what I want to price. I know the amount because I know I had money on me. In case anything happen, I will show them money. So I priced the I started selling systems. Yes, when I get the cost of the system, if the system is cost 100,000, I could sell the system for 130,000 to anybody that needs the system. All you just need is to trust me, that's all. So I became close to my auntie because I take away the fact that I was disliking her for the fact that she couldn't accept me into her house. And then after a while, when I took it away, when I just brought love into the picture, I started acting normal. I started visiting them. I discovered that she was actually a nicer person. She contacted her friends. You know, the barracks, they have this women group, her friends, ones who need laptop for their children in school. I was not the one who was distributing laptop for everybody. You want the laptop, I'll just add my amount, make it easy for you. I will install everything and all that. So what I'm going to tell every
Okay.
youth is patience, no, God first, patience and love. But at the same time,
Thank you so.
don't ever leave your goal. Don't ever leave your goal, no matter anything. Don't ever leave your goal.
All
Still
right.
chase your dream,
Thank you
chase your
so
vision.
much. I'm sure that we will listen
Thank you very much,
to
ma'am.
thank you so much, darling. I'm sure that we listen to Wisdom's story, and I'm not here to recount the story. I'm here to make the points, very important points. The questions I asked him brought at this point. Number one, don't let the situation or what somebody caused you to make you to begin to live in hatred, and that hatred will not block you from the good that can come out from that person or that experience. So no matter who has hurt you, no matter who is hurting you right now, yes, hate what the person is doing to you. But as much as you can, if you have any opportunity to do the person good, do the person good. Because one way or the other, this good is going to come back to you. Whether you like it or not, it is going to come back to you. So he didn't let the hatred for his uncle's wife, who didn't want her in their home, to be clouding. And instead, he dropped it and became close to her, running errands for her because you cannot just become close to somebody without doing anything. I'm sure he was running errands for her and then telling her the things he also do, the other activities he does. And she was now the person that now brought all her friends to start patronizing him. So patient. If he had been in that uncomfortable, dejected, dilapidated environment, as a reject and all that, if he had run back home to his comfort zone, he wouldn't have gotten all the ideas he got. He got all his breakthrough ideas in that uncomfortable situation. In that situation where he was crying, where he was hungry, where he was sick, he was beaten by mosquito cold, he was scared, he was all alone in a dark workshop. He did not let the experience to drive him away from the breakthrough that was to come in front. This is a lesson for you and I. He did not. He persevered. He said, I know what I came for, and I'm going to achieve this thing that I came for. He didn't run away. A lot of young people run away. A lot of times will run away from something that is uncomfortable, will just run away, want comfort. And then he mentioned, without, without set these challenges, you can have a breakthrough. So you keep holding on to that situation that is tough. And then patience. We need to pray for patience that God will give us patience in every situation, whether they are nice, whether they are ugly, whether they are bad, to have patience and to always, God comes first. You remember He's mentioned it, God comes first. God must be in the center. God must be in the picture. Because when we have this assurance that God is in the picture, that God is in the experience, it just keeps on going. But when there is no God in that picture, that's when it looks like you want to die, you want to commit suicide, you want to do this, you want to do that. So God first, and then have a goal. His goal kept on driving him.
Yeah.
His goal kept him sleeping there, kept him cold, kept mosquito biting, kept him hungry. He was not looking at the temporality of the situation. He was looking at the future. He was seeing his goal. He was seeing his brand being built. He was seeing the connections he have. And if you know him, the Acide graphics or Minister Wise he now called himself, you will know that he is excellent now. He's an expert. I wouldn't give him this big name so that he'll keep growing, but his brand is a me. And if you know anything about Rainbow Youthings, you know that everything about our designs come from him. So in case you don't know him, you can check him, give him for your birthdays, for your churches and all that, you can contact him. But all these things, because he's been designing for us, he's been one of us. But those of you that know him, his last year's design, late last year till now, has been excellent. How did this come about? It was in the wilderness experience that he had this creativity, this ideas, this rebranding, this reshaping, this revamping that came out of him. So that is the thing. During the wilderness, something great is going to come out of it. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Thank you, Wisdom, for sitting on our hot seat. And we have come to the end of today's Kiss and Tell. We will be giving you something sweeter next month. Kiss and Tell is going to be awesome. And please do well to follow Rainbow Youth Teams Ministry on our website, on our YouTube. Maybe they can drop the website link, handle. Follow us on our website, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. We have different things that we do. So I am Aunty Kelechi Linda Ramosele. Oh, sorry, Linda Kelechi Ramosele, popularly known as Aunty Kelechi. I'm a youth intelligence coach and a PR specialist. And my job is simple. I plan the child, I train the teenager, and I prepare the youth. So I'm going to see you on Saturday for When Youth and Teens Pray on Facebook, not on Instagram. But this Instagram, I'm coming your way in August. See you and thank you, Wisdom. What's your farewell speech? What is your bye-bye speech? What is your bye-bye
Thank you
speech
very
to
much.
the viewers?
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, family. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you very much, youth and things. I'm very grateful for your audience. I'm very grateful that you all attended. And I pray may the Lord bless you all. And let's have a great week ahead of us. Thank you all.
Amen. Thank you. You have a great week too. Bye-bye. Thank you
Bye.
to all our viewers. God bless you and bye.